Hello guys, today we're going to start 1.2 linear equations and rational equations. So we're going to start with example 1. So we're trying to solve this 2x plus 3 equals 17. So we all know you just subtract 3 both sides and then you solve for x. So what we're going to do right here is, I want to show you guys something. Instead of doing the subtract 3 both sides, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the positive 3 from the left side. I'll move this positive 3. I'm going to move to another side. So then you change the sign. So I'm going to have 2x left. I know it's really easy, but I just want to show you the concept. 2x is equal to, so we're going to 17. We didn't move 17, we're just going to leave it alone. And then when we move to another side, you always have to remember we must change the sign. So that will be subtract 3. Of course, you can always do the traditional way. It's just this way, once you're used to it, it's really super easy and fast. Alright, this is going to be 14. So once we have here, we divide by 2 both sides. Here we're going to cancel out. We're going to have x equals 7. So you can always check your answer. We're going to skip that part. Okay? Example 2 is solving a linear equation. This time we have to do a little bit extra. So we're going to have distribution. So look right here as well, distribution. So let's start with 2x, right? Then 2 multiply negative 3, give you negative 6. Then subtract 17, that would be equal to 13 minus, remember this is a subtract, 3x. Then remember we're going to use the negative 3 multiplied 2, giving negative 6. You really have to be careful this step, okay? Negative 3 multiplied 2 give you negative 6. Once we have this, okay, remember earlier what I said is you can just switch them around. We're going to move them around. We move all the variable to the left side. This is a variable, this is a variable. Alright, we move to the all the variable to the left side, we move all the number to the other side. Again, you can do the add 6 both sides, you can add 17 both sides, you can do that. So before we do that, so we realize we have a negative 6 right here, negative 6 right here. They're really just going to be gone, right? Because if you add 6 both sides, because they're the same numbers, we're just going to get rid of them right now. Alright. We're going to move the negative 3x to the other side. So we're going to move this, go to the left side somewhere. We're going to have a 2x plus 3x. Remember, negative become the positive. And that will be equal to, remember we want to move this now, the negative 17 to the other side. Okay? So what happens when you move to another side, you change the sign again. So that will become positive 17. And then we still have the original 13 there. That will be plus 13. So the reason why we do this, please remember, the goal is to make your life easier. If this is making your life difficult, you don't understand, then just forget about it. Okay? So once you're used to this method, you can do this really inside your head. You can get your answer really quickly. That's the reason why I'm doing it. Okay, 2x is 3x, that's just going to be 5x. And then here we're going to have a 30. So divide 5 both sides. Okay, you're just going to have x equal to 6. Again, you can check your answer. You're just going to plug this in. Let's do this really quick. Okay, we're going to plug in the 6 back to the original equation. So that would be 2 times 6 minus 3 minus 17 equal to 13 minus 3 times 6 plus 2. Okay? So all we're doing is just plugging your 6 back for your x. That's your 6. So then we're going to have 2 times 3 is to be 6 minus 17. This is the order of operation. Then we have 8 right here. That will be minus 24. So then we're going to we're checking for left and right, they're the same number. That's going to be negative 11. And then here we're also going to have negative 11. So which means we got this question right. Alright, let's work on example 3, solving linear equation involving fractions. Let's take a look at this equation. So we have the denominator 4, denominator 3. So for this type of equation, the step 1 we want to find is the least common multiples. Alright, in this case, it's a 4, 3, it's just 12. Once you find your least common multiple, okay, so what we're going to do is, let's go ahead, we're going to multiply this LCM every single term. Okay, so we'll multiply 12 to every single term. So we know our LCM is 12. Then the step 2, we just use every single term, we'll multiply by 12. So once we have this, alright, the rest is just simplify. Okay, so here we're gonna have, this is 1, this is 3. You got to remember to put the parentheses when we write it. So here we have 1, 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and write it down. So we're gonna have 3 times x plus 2, and then we're gonna subtract 4 times x minus 1. You really have to remember you need to put the parentheses here, otherwise the whole thing will get wrong. Okay, so let's go ahead and simplify. The 12 multiplied 2 is giving me 24. Okay, once we have this, the rest is just like really similar to example 2. So you do a distribution, then you move it around and solve for x. So we're going to have 3x plus 6. Then here we're going to have minus 4 times x. That's just going to be minus 4x. Then we have negative 4 multiplied negative 1 and give you positive 4, then equal to 24. Okay, so now we have a 3x subtract 4x, give me negative x. Then here we simplify a little bit more. 6 plus 4 give you 10 equals 24. So the last step in here is we're going to subtract 10 both sides, or in my head I'm just going to think, okay, go to another side, become negative. Negative x equal to 24. Okay, I'm moving this to another side. Subtract 10. Then we're going to have negative x equal to 14. Now we divide the negative 1 both sides. This is going to be cancelled. Here x equal to negative 14. Now let's check the answer really quick on this side. Okay, so we got x equal to negative 14. So we're just going to plug back in your original equation. We're going to have negative 14 plus 2 over 4, subtract negative 14 minus 1 over 3. And then you want to check, is it give you 2? So here we're doing it mental math. Negative 14 plus 2 is negative 12 over 4. And then here we're going to subtract, and that will be negative 15 over 3. Alright, so give you 2. So here we're going to have negative 3, then negative become positive, and then you do this again, and it equals 2. And then you realize that will be 2 equal to 2. So you got this correct. Let's look at example 4, solving a rational equation. Rational equation, again, is look like a fraction pretty much. The only difference is you're going to have variable involved. Okay, again, step 1, same. You find your LCM, least common multiple. In this case, you're going to have 5, 2x. Okay, so all you have to do is just multiply the 5, multiply 2, and multiply x, which is a 10x. Okay, LCM is a 10x. And then once you have this, so your next step is you use your 10x, multiply every single term. Okay, let's go ahead again. Let's just make sure we know this LCM is 10x. Then the next step we just did multiply every single term. Okay, the step 3 you just simplified it. you kind of just like canceling it. Let's go ahead, look at this. The x is going to be gone. The only thing you have left is going to be 10 multiplied 1, just going to be 10. Then here we're going to have 1, and here we have 2. We'll have 2x left here. Well, plus this, again, the x is going to be gone, and then we have 10 and 2. It's going to be 1. Here it's going to be 5. Okay? Then you have 5 multiplied 3 give you 15. If your LCM is right, you should have equation without any fraction, any x or any rational equation should be gone. Now we just have a simple equation with one variable. So we have a 10 equal to 2x plus 15. Okay? So what I'm going to move is I'm going to move the stuff around. I'm going to move the variable to the other side. That will be negative 2x. Right? Then we move the 10 to the other side, which would become negative 10. And then 15 I didn't move. That would be plus 15. So we're going to have negative 2x equal to, that will be 5. So then we'll divide by negative 2 both sides. What I have left is x equal to negative 5 over 2. Please remember, in this class, I don't need you to simplify this, alright? So that will be good enough for me. So you're just going to write x equal to negative 5 over 2. That is your final answer. Perhaps you can check your answer. Let's go ahead and write down the steps, alright? Just kind of like you to recall how you solve this kind of question. Alright, let's go ahead and summarize. Step 1, find your LCM. Step 2, multiply LCM for every term. Step 3, you cancel all the fractions. And then step 4, solve the simple equation without any rational expression in there. Step 5, check your answer. Okay, let's work on example 5. Again, step 1, recall, find the LCM. So what is the LCM in this case? We only have one denominator, they're exactly the same. So we're just going to write LCM is just x minus 3. So now we multiply the LCM, right? So I'm going to have x minus 3. We're going to multiply every single term. Once we have here, we said step 3 is just going to cancel. So in this case, we can cancel this right here. That will be x. Again, here we're going to cancel x minus 3 again. That will be 3 plus. So now we're just going to do a distribution. Alright, 9 times x is just going to be 9x. And then we're going to be minus 27. Okay. Now, again, you can subtract 9x both sides, and then you're going to have negative 8x, or you can just move it around, whatever you feel comfortable with. So you're going to have x minus 9x, okay, because go to another side, become negative, and then you're going to have a 3 minus 27. So here, let's simplify this. That will be negative 8x equal to negative 24. So we're going to divide by negative 8 both sides. So we're going to have x equal to positive 3. So once you have x equal to 3, you have to put it back inside your original equation. But 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. You cannot have a denominator 0. That means, in this case, there's no solution, right? Because there's a restriction that x cannot be 3. So which means in our case, I'm going to say the solution set is empty. Really, you need to be careful on this type of questions. Example 6, solving a rational equation to determine when two equations are equal. Consider the equations. Here we're going to have y1 and y2. Now two equations. Find all values of x for which y1 is equal to y2. It seems pretty complicated, but in this case, all you have to do is just set these two equations to equal to each other. 3 over, that's my y1, 3 over x plus 6 plus 1 over x minus 2, set it to equal to 4 over, that's y2, x squared plus 4x minus 12. Once we set it up, what we want to do is we want to figure out what is the LCM. But in this case, when we just look at it, it's really hard for us to see. So in order to find the LCM, so in this case, we have the factor first, right here. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to write down the rest of it exactly same. So we're going to have 3 over x plus 6 plus 1 over x minus 2. We're going to be equal to 4 over, let's go ahead and look at this. Okay, what two numbers multiply together give you -12, add together give you +4. That is 6 and 2. Because it's a +4, so the 6 is positive, the 2 is negative. So once we have this, you factor it, and then the next step is we're going to just go ahead find our LCM. The rest of the step are exactly the same. You will find our LCM, then you multiply every single term by LCM, then you cancel, then you solve the equation, and then you check your answer. Let's go ahead and look at this. But here we have x plus 6, x minus 2, then we also have the factor x plus 6, x minus 2. So, which means our LCM is just going to be x plus 6 and x minus 2. Okay, step 3. We multiply the LCM every term. So let's go ahead and look at this. So we'll go ahead and write it down. That will be x plus 6, x minus 2. Multiply the first term, 3 over x plus 6, then plus x plus 6, x minus 2, and then multiply 1 over x minus 2. And then we're equal to, again, we're just going to write it down. For many of you, if you once you get used to it, you really don't have to write it down. You probably could, do it inside your head. I'm just going to write it down right here. So for many of you, if you don't know where those come from, okay? So let's go ahead and highlight this. My LCM right there. So then I use my LCM to multiply every single term. Alright? So if you want to just don't get lost somewhere, so that is my first, right? So right there, right? So I didn't change anything, everything else is the same, right there. Maybe I should have changed a different design. Again, make it this just, just in case some of you guys don't know what I'm doing. Let's just make this as a square. So right there. Okay, let's go ahead and continue the work. So once you have this, right? So we're going to just, the rest of it is just going to cancel. We said that the step 4 is just going to be canceling. Here we're going to cancel those. That we're going to have 3 times. We're going to bring that to the front. 3 times x minus 2. Remember, if your LCM is correct, you should have an equation without any fractions or rational expression in there. Okay? Let's go ahead and look at this. Subtract. That one's going to be gone, so they're canceling out. So we're going to have plus 1 time this. We're just going to have x plus 6 left. Multiply 1. Then we have an equal to, for the last part, right? So here, we're going to have, they're going to be canceled out. There's the whole thing going to be canceled out, the denominator. So the only thing I have left is just going to be 4. Okay? So this is step 4. Remember, we just said this is a cancel. We'll cancel everything. So we're going to have distribution. That will be 3x minus 6. Then plus, there's nothing here. I don't have to, I'm just going to get rid of the parenthesis. X plus 6 equal to 4. We have negative 6, we have positive 6. So they're going to be gone and become 0. So we're going to have a 3x plus x. that give me 4x. We said this term, they're going to be gone, right? They're going to be gone, those negative and positive. Then we're just going to have 4 on the right side, and then divide by 4 both sides. So we're going to have x equal to 1. I know it's a long process. Let's go back, just take a look at how we did this question. Okay, let's go back really quick. So let's explain this. So the question's asking you to consider 2 equations, y1, y2. You find all the value of x for which y1 equals y2. Step 1 is really beginning. You have to do is you set them to equal to each other, the 2 equations. Then we just treat it as a rational equation. We're going to solve the rational equation here. Again, step 1 is we have to factor first, because here we cannot really find the LCM without factoring it. So factor first, then find your least common multiple. Once you find that, multiply the least common multiple every single term. Once you do that, the next is going to be cancel every single term. So if your LCM is correct, you should have a nice looking equation, okay, without any fractions or rational expressions there. So then you just do distribution, and then you solve your variable, you find your x, and then let's take a look. If the x, we can have 1. So again, we look back, right? So there's no restriction for x cannot be 1. So then your x equals 1 is the answer. Perhaps you can check the answer here. So I know it's a little bit complicated. So go ahead, do some of your homework and then do some practice. If you still have questions, please ask me anytime. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.